Hello, game devs. Here's how to lay out Unity UI faster and more precisely. I'm showing a demonstration of my asset and its features. Now I'm going to explain how it works. First, let's open the settings window. I'll dock it to the edge of the screen now, and then we'll begin. Originally, it was designed as a grid for snapping UI elements. Similar to Photoshop, Illustrator, or other graphic editors, I'm going to demonstrate all the capabilities of this asset. To work with it, we need a canvas. We can create a canvas via the context menu. Or click the New Canvas button in the settings window, and the canvas will be created with predefined settings. Enable it, and you will see the points that represent our grid. Let's create a Rect transform object. When the tool is enabled, snapping already works when you resize or move objects. To start snapping, select Rect tool. We can snap edges to these points. This works with a single object and with multiple objects. It also works with child objects, for example, like this. The child object sizes scale proportionally without using scale transforms. Only the width and height of Rect transform objects are changed. This feature can be disabled or enabled. Next, what else can be done? There is a Fit to Grid button that allows the selected object to snap to the grid instantly. The button snaps the object to the grid points, regardless of whether snapping is enabled. This also works with canvas edges. That means we snap not only to the grid, but also to the canvas boundaries. We also have another features. A basic alignment feature. Objects can be aligned either relative to the selection bounding box or to the whole canvas. Let's make them different sizes. Like this, for example. We can align objects by edges, by center, and also distribute objects by centers or by spacing between objects. We also have grid settings. Basically, we can set a reference image and work with it. The reference can be made semi-transparent or tinted, and the Always on Top mode is enabled by default for the image. To make it easier to work, make sure this mode is enabled. Now you can work with the reference image. To work with a reference, you first need to set up the grid. So now we'll configure all of these settings. Here, the grid step will be 16 pixels, and the grid offset will be 0.5. Okay. Once the grid is set up, you can move on to lay out the objects. This tool offers the ability not to think about element sizes, not to type them manually, but to work intuitively with Rect transform elements. A grid-based UI looks neat and well organized. This tool also does not use the Unity grid system. It can be configured in any way. This is very useful if you work with the scene and UI at the same time. We can work with multiple canvases. For example, we have a canvas in screen space camera mode. Wait a moment, I'll set up the canvas now. and we have a second canvas. We can switch between them by selecting either objects or the canvas itself. For example, here is an object. Clicking it will instantly switch you to working within the current canvas. The asset automatically detects which canvas we are working with and displays the grid on the active canvas only. We can rotate this canvas and still work inside the same coordinate space. We can also make the canvas world space instead of screen space. Now we see that the scale of this canvas has changed. But this does not matter. We still snap 2 points that are in the canvas's local coordinates. There are also additional features. We can change the number of subdivisions in the grid step. Okay, it's a bit hard to see here, so let me increase the point size to make it more visible. The grid step can be divided into 2, 3, or any other number of subdivisions. You can change the grid offset. You can adjust the grid's origin point, which is helpful when dealing with margins from the screen edges. Also note that the grid is optimized. It does not display all points at once. It uses a certain maximum amount of points. The same optimizations applies to subdivision points. The point size can range from 1 to 4 pixels. The point color can be set to anything, and you can also adjust the point's opacity. I should also add that besides grid snapping, there's snapping to object edges. For example, like this. Or you can snap to the canvas boundaries. Almost all the main tool configuration options are also duplicated in the Tools menu. There is also an option to save default values or reset to default values. You can open compact overlay panels with settings, preventing the main window from occupying too much space on the screen. These are the Alignment Options panel, the Grid Settings panel, and the Reference Handling panel. Thanks for watching this video until the very end.